To you.
All right, Sandra. Well, it's shaping up then to be a summer bummer, I guess, for the president. Lots of investigations, from this one on the GSA to Cylinder to Keystone, high gas prices. All of this stealing some of the president's thunder. Roll call, Shira Toeplitz, if it could, and maybe already has. Good to see you in the flesh.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Neil.
This just goes on and on. What do you make of this latest incident?
Well, I think particularly the energy issues, the Keystone pipeline, the rising gas prices, these are tough issues for the president to get over. Right now he has the benefit of the Republican nomination kind of petering out, and that's dominating a lot of the news. But come summer, when gas prices continue to rise, it's going to be much more difficult for him to run away from these kinds of headlines.
Now, this GSA one smacks of hypocrisy because it doesn't have direct control over this. You'd think they'd be catching or reading some of his speeches, lambasting corporate America, fat cat CEOs ad nauseum about don't do this kind of stuff, this is how they waste money. You could have always made the argument a lot of these companies were wasting their own money.
Right.
And even in the case of those bailed out by the government, they were returning the money and then wasting money anew, if that's your gig. But here, it's government agencies.
Absolutely.
Very different case.
Right, and I think it's very difficult for a voter to see right now that we've seen iTunes gift cards and little iPod touches being handed out to federal employees as rewards. I think that's hard for a voter to see when they're trying to afford
Do we know rewards for what? Just, if it was more than just showing up for work, or was it saving money? I almost could see it if there was a quid pro quo. You're saving money, or you got your budget under control. But there actually wasn't. There was no quid pro quo to this.
I don't know the particular details of this program. I do know that these rewards, though, and things like the conference in Las Vegas with clowns and commemorative coins, I mean, those don't feed well to voters. Voters don't want to see that. It looks like waste.
Against clowns? I mean, no.
I think they're a little scary,
This wasn't at Circus, was it? I mean,
no, but it was in Las Vegas, which is the president used himself as his own political talking point fairly recently, is an example of waste when government officials go out there.
You know, government is an unwieldy beast.
Yes, it is.
And we always talk about that. But what never changes is its beastly behavior. And it comes at a time when there's an argument we've got to give the government more money, or at least the rich do. Mm-hmm. Does this hurt that argument when you say, for what? For this?
Right. I think it does make it more difficult, especially on Capitol Hill, where you're talking about these incredible budget cuts, and in many cases very necessary budget cuts. It's hard to make the arguments on both sides now about what should go when things are being spent on the topics we just mentioned on these items. It makes it more difficult. How
much does this boomerang, though, on the president? Because like you've mentioned, we've certainly reported, this sort of stuff seems to happen in every administration, you know. Wasn't long ago we had the $10,000 hammers and all this stuff. So we get a lot of this. I guess what makes it a little bit more galling is that it bespeaks of hypocrisy, that you say this is behavior you won't tolerate, but this is apparently common behavior within government agencies.
Yeah, it certainly happens in Washington. You're right. We always get reports every few months. It seems like there's another report about $500 muffins at some kind of conference. But I think it hits at a particular weak point for this president because he did run on a platform of change. I'm a Washington outsider and I'm going to go up. He didn't say necessarily he was going to clean up Washington.
But he didn't make fun of it either. And I think there's a skit that the House committee got investigating this that bespeaks of, I think, all the problems here. This is from this very group and a skit they put on in Vegas. Take a peek at this.
No field rappers can't afford every GS5 will get a top hat award. Hey. Donate my vacation, love to the nation. I'll never be under OIG investigation.
That's a GSA.
Well, were they making that video on the government clock?
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Was that made on the government clock?
I mean, everyone jokes around a little bit at their job sometimes, but for
we
that
never
kind
joke around.
No,
we take everything we do morbidly serious.
Well, I can say I have moments of fun in my job every day, but to have that kind of thing leak out, when you're a government official, an office should know better that this kind of thing can come out, and now it's going to be part of a hearing.
With other hearings, and on we go. Okay, sure, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Great seeing you in the flesh.
Absolutely.